Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Debbie and today I am going to be doing a build your stash video. And in particular, today I want to do some specifically colored papers. So what I mean by that is a lot of times I'm doing a small paper project and I want a specific color theme. And it's really hard in my scrapbook papers because when I buy them, I'm looking for things that are really beautiful, florals and prints and stuff like that. But I want colored paper specifically for collage backgrounds. So I have some old books here. I also have some music paper here, just a music book. So I am going to do my colors on these papers. And I think I just want my papers to be about this big because, like I said, I'm collaging. So I think I'm going to rip down some of these music sheets to half size to start with. So I'm just going to grab my ruler to do that, and I'm just going to throw it in the middle. I'm not going to do anything fancy, no measuring. I tear these all up when I'm doing them anyway, and I'm just going to add them to my stack here. There. So I'm going to set this aside. So I've got a bunch of music paper. And then I never want the first couple pages because the writing on them is pretty weird. So the value of peanut butter. We all know about our protein in our peanut butter. So a bunch of that. This is an old book on herb gardening. Oh, I like this one because it has some prints in it like this. So every once in a while you get a nice printed page. And there. So I've got all of these. Now I'm going to add color to these pages. And I'm going to use many different things. So I've got some Distress Oxide in the peeled paint and the fired brick, just because I love the red and the green of this color. So you can use things like that to add color. I've got some Distress inks, the Antique Linen, the Vintage Photo. I've got some small inks, and I've got some red, some green, and some turquoise in this color. Now, I can use those, but if I'm going to use them for collaging, which means I'm going to be brushing glue or something over the top of them, sometimes you can reactivate that color and it'll run. But I've got some, Permanent Mixed Media Ink Palette by Diane Reevely from Delusions. This has got 4 different colors in it, but I might use the pink, the green, and the blue. I'm just going to set these over here. I'm going to grab a sheet of music. That's got a picture on the back, but if I'm gluing this side down, it's okay. I'm going to also be using some spray water here, just little bits, because I'm going to dampen my paper a little bit. And I want some pink paper. There was a fold down the middle of this book because I had been using this book to hold memory decks, cards, or ATCs or something. And I'd gone through the whole book and folded the pages in half so that I had, so when I opened both covers, I had this wonderful arc of folded pages in the middle. And I was sticking ATCs and memory decks, cards, and things like that in there just to display them. So, but I don't do that anymore because I save all those things in a different way. I store them all differently now. So I've already ruined this book by folding all the pages. So this doesn't have to be even, but I do want you to see that I'm putting a lot of nice color on this page. So I've got this. I'm going to let it dry. I'm just going to pile my papers over here as I get them done. I'm going to grab a music sheet Obla-dee-obla-da. I don't want that side. I want this side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to put water on first this time. And the color will soak in and be a little more intense. This is a really bright, almost a fluorescent pink. So I've got another one done, and look at the difference. There's a difference in the color, a difference in the texture. There's just a difference in the look of it because this is a smoother paper with a bit of a shine to it, like not a shiny surface, but a silky surface. And this is a rougher paper, and they soak in the ink in different ways. So I'm going to, of course, wipe this up because I don't want it left on my desktop too long. And then I'm going to do the same thing with another sheet of the music paper and with another page of the book page. That way I have both types of paper in each color. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. That will be really cool to use for collaging paper. Look at that bright color. So I just added a little bit of water there because I wanted to see actually how permanent this is, because I haven't done this with this ink before. And this is the only colors that I have this in, but it did stay on there. Like I wiped it with this cloth and I can't get any back off of the paper. So once that dries, that's going to be pretty good. Now, I have to clean my desktop. And then I'm going to repeat the process, just the way that I did the first 2 times. So I have some green and I have some really gorgeous turquoise blue and some really bright, almost neon pink. This is some beautiful paper just to start with. So that's my first method. So I would recommend, if you're doing inks, that you do permanent ink. So I am going to do 2 more sheets with permanent ink, and I think I'm going to use my archival. This is a permanent ink and it's jet black, and that's because I don't have any black papers. I have none, no black papers at all. So I think I'm going to do a couple of each one. I think I'm going to stick my book down here. I may as well just turn this over. In here. There, I've got all kinds of dark splotches on that one. So I've got lots of black. I also have a little set of inks that I bought a long time ago that I think I would like to use. Now, these are alcohol inks. I haven't used them for a long time. I also have the Delusions ink spray, and I have them in this. What colors are these? Postbox red. Pure Sunshine. Vibrant Turquoise, and Crushed Grape. So I think I'm going to do some of my pages in these sprays as well. Now, I honestly think that these sprays will work a little better if my paper is a little bit wet. We're going to see. We're going to see. So I'm just going to... so I haven't used these for a while, and this is what happens with these, guys. The sprayers quit working on them. So I think I'm just going to put my color on like this. That's a lot of color, but I'm going to put it on like that, and then I'm just going to run it all over my page. Maybe blot it on. I've also got a rainbow card that or prompt that I have to do here shortly as well. So I'm just going to saturate my page with this, and then just add more color where I think I need to add it. And one of the things that I do think that you should do with this after you get this color running all over your paper is to actually dry it. So I'm going to dry these pages so that you can see what they look like when they're dried. And it's pretty dry. That's what it looks like. I love the whole pooled. So I think you could see, even though I sped that up, I think you could see that this pooled, and I pushed it into little rivers with my heat tool. And this is how it dried. And this paper is crinkly. This is really cool. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the same thing with a music sheet because I love that red. And I think it should work a little differently on this paper because it's a different textured paper. It should do almost the same thing, but we're going to see. I just poured some on there, and I'm going to run it all around this paper like this. Paintbrush, a wet paintbrush, so that I can move the paint around on my page. I'm just going to paint this on here. And it's puddling. That's a lot quicker too. And I'm going to dry it. So I think just to give it a little more texture, I've got these last few little puddles left, and I'm just going and dabbing the ink off to lighten that up. So it gives me a little bit more variety in the red on this one. So these look completely different. This is absolutely gorgeous, the way that that ink dyed this paper, the music paper, and it's a smoother, a newer paper. And this is, the only way I can describe this is, remember the older books that kind of had a texture like a thick newsprint paper? That's a different type. So yeah, they take the ink way different, but I absolutely love this. So I'm going to do the same thing with all of these colors, and I'll come back to that. But I am going to try, this is just straight alcohol ink. So we're going to see what happens with it. So I'll do one on camera, and then I'll do the other colors, and I'll come back and show you at the end what everything looks like. So let's start off by using a damp sheet of paper. And when I say damp, I'm really wetting this down. I mean, there's puddles of water on here. I can pour it off. So I'm going to start with this one. What is the color of this? Wild Plum. So let's see what happens. Now these bottles are just meant to be poured out like this. And paint it around on the paper. Wow, so on this paper, the alcohol just saturated where the dots were, where I put the little dots on. So I'm going to put some smaller dots on here and kind of try to spread them around quicker. So I'm just going to let this dry. There's no pooling on here. So that, see, that went right through. So the alcohol ink has a way different effect on the paper. I'm going to tear that page off, and I'm going to do my music paper with this one as well. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. And then I'm going to put it on like this. And then spread that around with some water. Just to give it a different effect instead of just the dots, because this is different. Now remember, when I cut this up into little strips, it's going to look way different, and it'll be interesting still. I think I'm going to dry this so that you can see what it looks like as well. Okay, I'm going to show you what the papers look like that I've got done so far. So these were the first inks, and these were the inks that I put on from the ink pads. So this was just the archival black ink, and you can see the music through it. You can see the print on the page through it. And you can see that pretty print through it. And this was the bright pink one, the turquoise blue one, and this was the green one. And these are the Diane Reevely ink pad that I had. So those are the ink pads. Those papers are all going to be fabulous to use. So these were the sprays and the bottles. So let me see. These were the spray bottles. So this was the red music print and the red book page. Now remember, that one didn't spray. It was blocked. They do that. So that's been blocked since shortly after I got it. So I just dumped these on there with lots of water. I love the way this one dried. And then this one was the last one that I did. And I put a lot of water on here and very little of this grape because I didn't want this to be almost black. I wanted it to be purple and I wanted to be able to see my print through it. So I accomplished that. Now the Sunshine, let's see, what's it called? This is the Pure Sunshine and the Vibrant Turquoise. The spray bottles worked on these ones. So I sprayed it on there. I absolutely love the way it turned out. I didn't put any water on. The spray bottle worked. And I sprayed it on there. And then I sprayed it on there as well. This is a really intense dark turquoise color. So I'm loving these. This is perfect for an orange. If you're looking for an orange color, it would go with orange or yellow, I think. And then I'm going to do some more pages. And I am going to use some watercolors from Temu. I got 3 packs of these and they're kind of a metallic. So let's see what happens when I do those. I'm going to grab my water and I'm going to spray my whole palette and I'm going to spray my paper just to make it easier for me. And then I'm not going to use a fine brush. I'm going to go on here and I'm going to use purples and I'm going to see what happens. These are not very pigmented. That one's a little bit better. So I'm just looking for different ways to color my paper. I'm going back and forth between these 2 purples. One gives me a little darker color than the other one. I need a little wet down here. And I'm just going to let these dry all streaky like this. So I thought I would try one of these gold colors, but I'm going to go to this other palette here and see if I can get something a little richer out of this palette, because what I'm looking for on this page is something that can be used on brown. So if I have a brown prompt, I think that that would be something difficult to work with. So I'm thinking And that's a good brown in there. There's not a lot of pigmentation in any of these paints. So I think I'm going to dry this, and then I'm going to add a little more. Brown is difficult for me. Okay, I'm going to see if I can add some more pigment to this now that I've got it dried a little bit. So there I have one page. That's all I'm going to do is one page, and it's browns. It's different shades of browns and coppers. There's a little bit of a reddish brown in here, kind of a rose color, but it's metallic and it's shiny and it's different, and just a piece of this glued into your collage with some other colors of browns will give it just a pop of shine, and I think I'm going to like that. So I've got this one. So I have my Inktense pencils, and I kind of wondered what would happen if you take an Inktense pencil, because this is ink. I was informed, I thought these were more like a watercolor pencil. And I've been informed by one of my viewers that this is actually, it's a pencil, a coloring pencil, but it's actually ink. And it's a permanent ink. So I can use it in my art projects, which I love doing for shading and bordering, but I haven't done a lot of stuff with it. So I'm wondering if I put it in different degrees on a piece of paper. I'm trying to go the same way, back and forth. I'm wondering what will happen if I do this and then activate it. So I'm going to try to make some darker spots in here. Then I'm just going to activate it with water because I don't know what's going to happen. But I want a nice green, and I'm hoping this will do the trick. So, and it does activate. Oh, it does. It activates this really. It's amazing, and it's such a rich color, this Inktense. So, I have my paintbrush here, and I'm just going to brush this and let it pool and puddle. What an easy way to get color onto a piece of paper. So if you have Inktense pencils and you want some colored paper, I've got these in green, blue, red, purple, black, and yellow. So once again, I'm just going to do this with all my pencils, and I am going to dry. So I'm going to take my pencil because I don't think I'm getting enough color, and activate the pencil and actually push it onto the paper like this. Because I want that intense color. And because I've never done this before, I'm going to take a brush with some water, and I am going to go over top of this and see if I can reactivate this once it's dry. And does it brush off? And it doesn't. Well, that's pretty cool because that means that this is a permanent ink once it is set. So I'm going to do a few pages. So these are the colors that I got from the Inktense pencils. I used the yellow, the blue, the purple, and the green, and got these really vibrant colors. These are colors that I just don't have in my paper stash. So purple is a hard color for me. So now I have this sheet that is kind of a metallic watercolor. This is Inktense pencils. And these ones are the crushed grape Delusions ink spray. So I have a variety of purples. I have this brown metallic watercolor. I have this, is called Pure Sunshine, and it is the Delusions spray. But I also have this yellow, so I've got my yellow and my orange. I have, this is the Inktense spray, that's that turquoise. It's called Vibrant Turquoise. It's a green teal color, in my opinion. And then I have this green and this blue, but I also have this green that I got from the ink pad. So I have a variety of greens and blues. Oh, I also have this blue that I got from the ink pad. This is more of a turquoise to me. This is like a teal. Anyway, I've got that. I've got some red. I've got some pink. And I've got my sheets of this black done as well. Now, just a tip for you, if you don't want to look like this, I mean, I've got purple and turquoise and blue and every color on my fingers. This is permanent ink, guys. This is going to take me days to get off of here. So my next couple crafting sessions, I'll probably have dirty hands. But yeah, it is what it is. I should have put on some rubber gloves to do this project. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. There's a bit of a mix of all the colors that I've got. They're fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And because this is just a book page, it's nothing, it's not thick. It's gonna be easy for collaging. So, oh, I got this one too. I didn't like this one. This was I didn't do any more of these. This was these inks that you had to pour on, and they're so intense that they immediately soak right through the paper and come out the other side. So I don't like those ones. I mean, they'll probably be okay used in small strips, but I do have the color, if it's just the color for a bit of background that I'm looking for. So I have all of these. I really do hope you enjoyed this, and it gives you a little bit of an idea of what different liquids that you can put on your papers. I've used watercolor, ink pads, ink sprays, and Inktense pencils. So lots of inks on here. So build your stash, guys. Do it yourself. Make your own. It's way easier than you think. It just takes a little bit of time, mostly drying time. It took me longer to dry it all than it did to actually put the colors down. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know if you've colored your own papers. I mean, besides coffee and tea dyeing, because I've done a lot of that. But if you've colored for intense color, let me know, and let me know what you've used. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd absolutely love if you did that before you left. Come back and see what I'm up to next, see what I'm going to use these on, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Until then, have a really wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.